Hello everyone, my name is Drone and welcome to this blogging tutorial on getting started with FTM and bridging your assets. The purpose of this video is to help some of you guys out. A lot of questions going around about how to get started with FTM, how to get your assets onto FTM, etc. So this video is mainly to cover those basic steps that you need to have covered prior to participating in the whitelist sale or the public offering sale. So what we're going to be looking at today is setting up the Phantom network and adding USDC to your Metamask wallet and the Trust wallet, as well as bridging your assets. I'm going to be showing you how to do this through a centralized exchange, and in this particular example we're going to be using Binance, and then through a cross-chain bridge, and this time we're going to be using multi-chain. There are various options, there are various offers in terms of what you can use for doing these processes. For centralized exchanges, what I found is that you could use Binance, Gate.io, and KuCoin. And with cross-chain, there's a plethora of ones. I saw some people recommending some in the general chat of the Discord. But in short, these are the ones that I personally have some experience with, and I feel most comfortable using. But of course, you guys can use whatever ones you found, whatever ones you have available to yourselves. So just choose whichever one you like the best. These aren't the only options, and these aren't necessarily the best options. Like I said, they're just options that I personally prefer the most. So to start off, let's set up Phantom on Metamask. Right now we're on the official documentation page of Phantom Foundation, where you can find all the data that we're going to be using. The links will be in the description for all of the information required for this whole process. So setting up Phantom on Metamask is like setting up any other network. All we have to do is as indicated actually here in the document, is that we're going to go into Metamask, and then we're going to click on our chain and just add network, and then all of the info that's requested here is the info we have here in the official documents. Okay, so now I've cut out the activity of me copying everything over. We're just going to proceed with clicking save, and there we have Phantom on Metamask. It's a fairly simple procedure, and it's like setting up any other RPC on a Metamask wallet. Now let's set up USDC in our Metamask. It's going to be the same process as any other token. Again, this isn't new. We're just doing the same processes we've always done, but on a different network. So this link to the FTM scan token page of the USDC token, it will be in the description. Now we're just going to copy the contract, and as always, import token, paste it, and add custom token. And we're done. Now whenever you deposit your USDC into your Phantom wallet, you should see how much USDC you have deposited. Okay, so now guys, I'm going to show you how to add native FTM and specifically the Phantom version of USDC into Trust wallet. Because it is a multi-chain wallet, you could end up seeing multiple versions of the same token in your wallet, but of course the important thing is to know that you have the specific network version of that token on. And for example, one thing you can see right here, a very clear example, is that we have BNB twice, but we have it BNB on the original BNB network, and then we have BNB on the smart chain, which is an EVM blockchain. So to turn on the tokens, we're going to go into the two sliders that we have up here in the right hand corner, the little white sliders. Click, and it's going to give you this search bar. Now it's only a matter of simply putting in the token symbol. In this case, we're going to be looking for Phantom, and it's going to be the first option we have, Phantom FTM. And if you can tell, there's a lot of other versions here, but these other versions have grayish blue letters under them signifying what token, or what network version that token is. Since Phantom doesn't have it, that's because that's the native Phantom token that we're seeing. So we're just going to go ahead and turn it on, and then do the same thing for USDC. Again, this is where the confusion can come up, because you're going to see a lot of versions of USDC. Since it's a widely used stablecoin, of course it's going to be bridged to multiple networks. But what we're going to do here, same process, we're going to scroll down and we're going to look for the token that just says USD coin, which is right here, and at the bottom of the name says Phantom. So I'm going to turn on the slider so you guys can get a better look
here it is, USD coin, USDC, and the little letters at the bottom signifying that it is on the Phantom network. And then we can just close up this search bar, and there we have the tokens. And if you want to make sure that it is the tokens that you require, as in the FTM versions, just open up the token itself. For the Phantom token, it'll say coin since it's the native token of the network. And for USD coin, it'll say Phantom in the top left-hand corner. And also later on, I will also be showing you guys how to import custom tokens into Trust Wallet, and maybe also show you guys how to make a Phantom exclusive version of this wallet that you're already seeing, or how to import into Trust the Phantom only version, so that way you won't get any confusion, or you won't end up accidentally sending to the incorrect network whenever you want to transfer. Okay, so for the bridging part of this video, I'm going to continue on my phone because the app UI is, in my opinion, a lot simpler to follow. You can use any centralized exchange you want. I've decided to go with Binance because of personal preference, and also because the few people that I saw asking about how to bridge via a centralized exchange were asking about how to use it, do it on Binance. But in short, it doesn't matter what you choose, just please, before you buy anything on the exchange or you move any of your funds from some other network into the exchange, make sure that Phantom is a supported network on this exchange. So basically what you have to do is simply go into your wallet and look for the specific token, which in this case is FTM. And then we're going to go to withdraw. And of course, the process for getting to this part that we're seeing right now on screen will vary. But in short, once you get to this part where you get all the prompt to put in the information that you need in order to withdraw your info, all you have to do is in the network window, click it and just scroll down and look for Phantom. So as you can see here on Binance, of course, the BEP chains and Ethereum are supported, but also Phantom is indeed a supported network. In cases, for example, I think Coinbase and Bitmart, you can buy Phantom on the exchanges, but you can only transfer them off of the exchange via the Ethereum network. So you would have Phantom on Ethereum, which is not what we need. We need Phantom natively on Phantom. So just make sure you do that before you do any sort of movement of your funds. Okay, now for the actual bridging part. Another important note is that USDC, with a lot of exchanges, you have varied ways, or you have lots of options as to what network you can send that USDC on. You can send that USDC via Polygon to your Polygon wallet. You can send it via Binance to your Binance wallet, etc. So far, I have not found an exchange that allows you to send USDC via Phantom. So what we're going to have to do if you go for the centralized exchange route of bridging your assets is that you're first going to have to send the assets that you're going to bridge, of course, into your exchange. And then those assets, you're going to have to sell them. Either sell them into a stable coin or the main stable coin used on the exchange. Or if your exchange is, for example, Binance and it has its own native token, where you can sell those assets into BNB and then use those assets to swap into Phantom. The swap part, or how you want to do the swap part, is totally up to you. It doesn't really matter. But in short, what you have to do is find a way for on the exchange, swap the assets that you're going to be using for the Progma launch and swap them into FTM. So I'm going to do that now with this USDT that I've brought in from my Binance wallet, and I'm going to swap that into FTM. Okay, so now I've gone through the process of sort of separating up my funds. What we're going to be doing for this example is only sending about $62 worth of FTM, 50 for, of course, which is the minimum for the Progma sale, and another 12 for gas fees. But very important to note that those $12 are going to be excessive in terms of the gas we're going to need for the whole process of buying Progma and swapping on Spooky Swap. I think you guys would probably be all right with maybe $5 worth of Phantom, which I think would be like 3 Phantom or maybe even less. But you really do not need that much Phantom in order to do the process of participating in the whitelist or the public offering, because Phantom is a very cheap network. So um, what we're gonna do is we're gonna click on Phantom and we're gonna send this total 38.69 Phantom to our wallet. I've already taken delivery of getting my wallet address, and I'm just gonna paste it right here. Again, confirm that the centralized exchange you're using accepts Phantom or supports the Phantom network. I've decided here that it's gonna go through Phantom, and then just gonna hit max, and then withdraw. Confirm. And of course, we're going to get the whole verification process. So I'm going to go through that, and then I'll catch you guys on the other side in MetaMask once the funds have arrived.
Okay, so as I mentioned, now the final step will be to turn that received FTM into USDC. For those of you that are your first time participating in the DeFi world in general, what you're going to do is head over to SpookySwap. The link will be in the description below, and of course you're going to connect your wallet. If you are doing this via the Trust Wallet app, there's a section in the app that says dApps, and that's where you can connect to dApps. You can just look up SpookySwap, and then it'll give you the prompt to, as you can see here in the top right hand corner, I've clicked connect wallet, and then it gave me this little window, and I can choose between MetaMask and Trust Wallet. So I'm going to go right ahead with MetaMask. And now that it's connected, I want to swap this FTM into USDC. I'll select USDC, and I'm going to select about $51 just because, so I can get that exact 50 and the slippage won't affect me. So click swap. Now, I already did a process for authorizing USDC prior to this, but if this is your first time using SpookySwap, like any other DEX, you will be requested to authorize the spending of that token, and you will get a prompt, you will accept it, and then it'll give you another prompt in order to confirm the swap. And that is it. So now we have well, the transaction is still pending, so let's give it a bit. Now, as you guys can see here, I have, well, the transaction has gone through, and I now have my Phantom as USDC. I checked the transaction on the blockchain explorer, and the full amount I paid in gas fees was 0.04 Phantom, so about 6 cents, 6 US cents, so 0.06. And really, it's Phantom is super cheap. There, you really won't need more than 3 FTM, at least when it comes to the whole process of participating in Pragma. And we've done some tests, and the contract itself for the whitelist, and I believe also for the staking contract, will be around 4 to 5, 0.04 or 0.05 FTM for the process. So again, you guys don't really have to worry about allocating that much of your funds into Phantom for gas fees. It's super cheap. This 7 FTM that I have here will probably last me for quite a while, and that's about it. If I had a whitelist spot, or if I wanted to participate in the public offering with this MetaMask, I could, and you're all set. And really, the whole process of bridging through a centralized exchange is relatively simple. I can't stress this enough, and I stress this a lot because it's happened to me in the past while I was starting off with DeFi and all that stuff, is that I end up sending my funds into the exchange, but the destination network that I want to deposit my funds in isn't supported. So please make sure you check that out before you do any purchases or movement of funds.
Okay, so what you guys are going to see me do in the background is transfer only half of my funds from this Binance Smart Chain wallet into the Phantom wallet via multi-chain. This is mainly because I originally planned to show you guys how to do 2 methods. So I was going to send half between multi-chain and half between another DApp. But at the end, the video was just was way too long, and I decided to cut that tutorial out. And also because the offer of that DApp, well, it's a good DApp. it ended up being very similar to multi-chain. So it was just, it's like if I were to end up making a tutorial of using Binance for bridging, and then using KuCoin. It's pretty much the same thing. It's pretty much the same process. The costs were similar. Portal has the exception that you can deny the cost for automatic redemption, and that could save you some gas and some tokens. But in the end, it was all relatively the same, so I decided to just cut that part of the tutorial out. So for now, we're just going to stick to multi-chain, and what you guys are going to see is just me transferring half of the funds. But don't worry, the rest of the funds, I transferred them over using this other method. Very interestingly, it's the only one that I know of that actually has support for Solana. So if you guys would be interested in a video tutorial regarding that protocol, again, it's called Portal Token Bridge. So if you guys want to know more about that, I'll also leave a link in the description so you guys can check it out yourselves. And if you want a tutorial on how to use it, I'll make a video separate to this one.
Okay, so now we're on multi-chain, and to start off, multi-chain itself has a lot of variety in terms of what assets and between what chains you can send your tokens. There's a plethora of tokens to use. As you can see, there's so many here that the list just seems to go on and on. But of course, up here you have the main ones: USDC, USDT, MIM, DAI, ETH, BTC. And then the amount of networks you can use is also pretty impressive. So if you're on any EVM or layer 2 chain that you personally enjoy, you'll definitely find it here. There's even, I believe, somewhere around here there's Terra, there's even Litecoin and XRP, sorry. So in terms of variety, it's pretty good. Now, the main issue with multi-chain that I see, but personally I find this as to be a very small issue, is the wait times. There is the potential for the wait times to be pretty long. There is a minimum, but it's not that much. And thinking of the minimums that we're going to be handling for the Pragma IO, it's irrelevant practically. The gas fees are a bit high. Now, as you can see, for USDC between Binance and Phantom, there is no fee from cross-chain, from the network itself, but 0.9 USDC is deducted from your transaction in order for this to be turned into gas, and for all the automated process that goes in between this. So this way you just have to put in the amount you want to transfer. Down here, of course, well, here it says swap, but there would also be a button that says approve and then the token name, in case this is the first time you're going to be using it. And then you're just going to hit swap, and it's a matter of waiting. The protocol is set up so everything is taken care of for you. You don't have to worry about anything besides just simply just clicking the acceptance of the contract interactions, and then you're done. Very important that before you send out your assets, please pay attention to this bar down here where you're seeing my mouse move around. This bar right here is showing you the liquidity for whatever token you're going to be swapping. So if by any chance you want to swap some other token, maybe you want to swap a Binance pegged FTM to the Phantom net, make sure to check that the liquidity here is available, or else what's going to happen is how this protocol works is that you deposit your tokens. It goes into a contract. I'm not sure, and I haven't checked really if it's a burner wallet where it goes in. But where it goes in, or the contract where it goes into, it then mints a new token, which is any it's going to be any USDC, any BNB, like a clone or a wrapped version of whatever token you're using, and that's used to send a signal to the other chain where this wrapped version is also created, and then this wrapped version is used to trade in to the actual token that you want. So for example, USDC will be turned into any USDC on Binance. The relay will send that information over here. Some new USDC, some new ANI USDC is minted, I believe, and then that is swapped for regular USDC on the Phantom. So just make sure that you're checking the liquidity pools, because you might end up with a token that it's USDC, but it's not. It's like Monopoly USDC. You can't really swap it anywhere. Or maybe there is probably a liquidity tool, a pool or two, for that token. But it's best to be safe and make sure that there is this liquidity available. So sorry for the long explanation, guys. What we're gonna do simply is we're gonna go with 25 USDC for now. And then when we're just gonna hit swap, I'm gonna get this confirmation window. Click confirm, JSON error. The button for the allowing or for the accepting of the USDC swap is not active, so let's just give it a refresher. Let it load up. Switch this to Phantom. Okay, guys, so I finally got the issue fixed. It seems it was just a matter of being patient. If you get this, if this is the first time you're bridging, and you don't have this approve USDC or approve whatever token that you're gonna swap or bridge. If you don't have this button down here, then just click the swap button, and you're gonna get this window that you saw. That I'll put up a screenshot maybe next year so you know which window I'm talking about. Wait for that window to show up and just sit at that window for a bit. Don't click swap. Wait a little bit, and then suddenly it'll switch to a window saying approve USDC, and then all we got to do is approve. And now here the transaction on BNB itself is a pretty it's a bit costly sometimes, because for example this is 0.12 USDC. I mean, sorry, so 0.12 USD worth in BNB. But for example, when I did the transfer from Phantom over to BNB, this transaction itself was about 0.04 worth of Phantom. So let's just hit continue. Now, after this, it's only a matter of waiting. We're gonna get a little pop-up window giving us the transaction of our, here we go, USDC approved. Now we can swap. So as you can see here, this window gives us all the information of how our transaction is going to go down. Of course, here is your wallet, just to confirm that if it is going to the correct wallet, and over here as well, where it says receive, it'll just be the same wallet. And you'll get these transaction hashes, which will be showing you the whole process of everything being bridged from one protocol to another. So right now I'm gonna again pause the recording and let this thing do its work. And while that's doing, I'm gonna do something else. Gonna wait. This can take up to, I found that it takes maybe 3 to 13 minutes. Though I haven't found a moment where it takes up that whole 30 minutes that it says underneath.
As you can see here, we've received 24.1 USDC from Binance. The reason why we received this instead of the 25 total is because of the transaction fee, or more like the gas fee that they call it on multi-chain, which is 0.9. And in short, what they apparently do is that they take that 0.9 from your wallet and they use that to convert it into gas, so that way it can pay all the automatic functions, so you don't have to worry about swapping it for another token or for redeeming and all that stuff. All you have to do is just simply interact with the contract and let it do its thing. So with that, that's multi-bridge in a nutshell. Like I said, if you guys are interested in that other protocol I mentioned, I will leave a link in the bottom description as well. And if you guys want to see a tutorial on that one, if it looks interesting to you guys, I'll gladly prepare one too, like I said, separate to this one, so this one isn't too long. So let's do a quick overview on these two methods that we've shown, and also talk a little about where they're lacking or what some of their drawbacks might be. Also, please take into account that these results aren't meant to sort of show you which is better. I think both of them are pretty good. The costs, even though comparatively they're very different, they're still pretty low. And I think each one would serve you best depending on the situation. So first, let's talk about Binance or the centralized exchange method. It was very cheap, but thankfully Binance itself, its withdrawal fees are pretty close to the actual fees of what the network you're going to be using is. Because for example, the withdrawal fee on Phantom was 0.01. The rest of this FTM cost that you're seeing for Binance was for the swapping of my Phantom into USDC. But the withdrawal fee was 0.01 Phantom, where the other day I used KuCoin and it was one whole Phantom, so about 1.50 USD, which is pretty high compared to the actual costs of what a transaction or a typical transfer costs on Phantom. So even though Binance is cheap, there are some issues that I have run with in the past. I haven't had these issues with other exchanges before, but again, I mainly use Binance. It's the main one I use. I have accounts for other exchanges, but don't really use them. I use them very seldom. So Binance, yes, it's cheap, but it has minimums for withdrawal, and sometimes these minimums aren't that much. It might be 10 of whatever token you're going to be withdrawing, but sometimes they can be really high and they can change unexpectedly. Like I remember one time I wanted to withdraw some AVAX, and for some reason the minimum was around 40 or 30 AVAX, so I couldn't go with the transaction because at that time AVAX was worth like $100. And the other issue that Binance has is that they suddenly suspend networks because they're supposedly putting them down for maintenance, or these suspensions when they do announce them, or I've never seen them being announced actually, but if they do, they last for days, and they sometimes just give you a vague answer like, hey, we don't know when this is going to be back up. So that's very frustrating, I would say, and they have terrible customer support. So the issue, I would say, in general with centralized exchanges is that there's another person on the other side of your transaction, and you're dependent on that person and that person's work. So if they're not doing everything correctly, of course, you will see issues in terms of the speed and the liberty that you have for exchanging your assets or for transferring them. Now, multi-chain was extremely simple to use. I think I just might start using it more often whenever it is I want to be transferring funds between my wallet or the networks my wallets are on. The cost itself was a bit high. It was about 0.26 for the contract interactions, but that issue was mainly because of Binance, because Binance interactions themselves are pretty high. And then that additional fee that you're seeing, that is 0.9, it doesn't change. I tried switching between networks. The only time it did change was when I was decided to use Ethereum, or when I set the configurations to bridge from Ethereum to Phantom. But even then, that's no surprise because it's Ethereum. But with all the other networks, whether it be Binance Phantom, Polygon Phantom, or Avalanche Phantom, whatever, that fee was 0.9, and that fee goes to the whole automation process of the fees used, so that way you don't have to worry about depositing and then receiving the bridge token used, and then swapping that bridge token out to the actual token that you want to use on the network. Everything is automated and it's super quick, 3 to 4 minutes. It wasn't that long, and for $1 and about 60 cents, that's pretty cheap. That's still pretty cheap. And again, you don't have to worry about all the issues that you would have to handle with a centralized exchange. So I think both of them are very good options. It just depends on what you're looking for. You don't mind the centralization? Are you luckier than me and don't run into these issues that I've mentioned with customer support or network suspension? And if you're moving large amounts, then hey, maybe the centralized exchange option is best for you. But if you want to completely stick to decentralization, or if you just simply don't want to open an account, you don't want to go through the whole process of KYC, or simply your country has restrictions and you don't have access to a centralized exchange, then multi-chain is definitely the way to go. At the end of the day, both are very good options. It's just a matter of personal preference. And with that, we're finished with this tutorial, guys. If you have any more questions, doubts about how this whole process went down, if there's any specific part that was not clear, you guys can always hit me up with a tag in the Discord chat or leave a comment down in the comment section, and I'll gladly help you out. So thank you guys, and hope to see you soon in the launch.